doesn't even make sense why I think about you. It was only one night, only that time, and it's not my style to be caught up in the middle like this. 'Cause now I dream about you. I was probably too drunk, it's blurry, but I've got the image of you running circles in my mind right now. And it could fade away, but it probably won't, and I should let it be. But I'm gonna dive into you, and maybe I'll drown, but what can I do? And it would be alright to let me down. Rather we try than let these feelings slide. So I'm gonna dive into you.
It doesn't even make sense why we try to fight it. Every time that we touch, the room caught on fire. We could blame it on the wine, but we know that we will both be lying. I wish I didn't want you. I was doing just fine, the way that it was. Then you hand me these emotions, didn't want them, but I guess that I'm stuck with them. They could go away, but I know they won't, and I should let it be. But I'm gonna dive into you, and maybe I'll drown, but what can I do? And it will be alright to let me down. I'd rather we try than let these feelings slide. So I'm gonna dive into you.
Welcome to Free Live Tarot Readings. I'm Tarot Oakland. I do the readings. What's up? Christina, welcome. Chelsea, Kasuma, KD, Bartman, CM, Mina, Canary, and Sarah. And Kozaya. What is going on? Kozaya, why does it filter your messages all the time? That's so weird. That's so weird. I swear I'm not doing that. I don't know why it does that. But anyway, it does that. Okay, we owe Christina a reading from last night. Last night, Christina asked, do I get a promotion before May? Let's check it out by using a deck of cards. Let's use some tarot. What do you think? Tarot would be great. And we'll do a little Housewives tarot. Got a little Housewives tarot action over here. By the way, in case you haven't seen this, was a gift from Christina. Very, very nice. Thank you so much. All right, little Housewives tarot. See if we're going to get promoted. See if we're going to get a little bonus. See if we're going to get a little bit of a status quo +1. +1 status quo. See what is going to happen with all of that. Oh, you want the thought. Okay, well, apparently we'll use the thought. Change of plans. We're going to Plan B. Plan B is going to be use the thought. All right, see if we get a promo. A position +1. We got two cards that want to be in the reading. They want to be right here, and then they want to be right there. So you can't see them because apparently it's secret, because there's stuff in the way. There's things in the way that are obstructing the view. We'll see what's going on. Boo Boo, how are you doing, Tammy? Welcome. How is everybody doing tonight? All right, we got a promo before May. Yeah, it's sort of interesting. We still have that thing. We have that good news piece, and then we have the friends and whatnot. I still think there's like somebody's leaving. We're back to the Plan A, which was that somebody's leaving. Andrew, welcome back. Good to see you. Third night in a row, right? Renee, welcome back as well. We just want to have peace, and then we have a bit of a defensiveness or a bit of a sort of working for it. I mean, we're really working for it at this point. So we do have peace. In other words, we're a good fit for a particular spot. We do have some good things happening, but it seems that we're really just working for it, almost just a working the overtime, working for it, trying to get things done and taking on as much as we can, as fast as we can, to get the effect, that bottom line that we want with that. Now, the Three of Cups is sort of here. It says that there are other people involved. There are other people that sort of need to leave. And I say need to leave because we do have the sort of the exit stage left card at the very end. And then the good news or bad news or this emotional connection that sort of kicks in with all of that. Meditation with music, welcome. How you doing? But yeah, it involves other people. It involves other people moving around, either leaving or people getting promoted themselves or somebody getting demoted or somebody moving around. It's not like that you just have a situation that's stagnant and then a magical promotion occurs. It seems that you do have a situation where somebody needs to leave, somebody needs to exit, or somebody is moved around, basically out of the scene. And again, we have that with ruin. It just feels like that's a bad news card at the end. But I'm just interpreting this as, because it's so good news all around it, I'm interpreting this sort of as somebody else has the bad news. Mina, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Basically somebody else has a good news, somebody else is leaving, everybody's sort of like, yes, that is sort of fun, that is sort of cool, but yeah, it definitely involves some other people leaving. So I'm going to say yes, because we do have a lot of good news. And I think the main source of the yes is peace. I think peace says that we are at peace with what we need. We have negotiated it out. Peace is a very good negotiator card. If you're looking for something that needs to be negotiated out, needs to be worked out between several people, I think peace is going to be one of your key cards there. Again, a little bit of the defensiveness, a little bit of the anticipation. Other people are involved. We have sort of this bittersweet emotional thing happen, and then someone else exits. So it's sort of the second time that we've sort of seen that pattern within there, but hopefully that occurs. Mina, thank you again for your donation. KD, welcome. What is going on tonight? You can't manifest a new apartment. Well, that's no good at all. That's no good at all, man. Apartments are easy to manifest. You gotta, I guess, as long as you got the money and the opportunity. Well, sometimes at least. Well, I know they have a moratorium on kicking people out of their apartments, don't they? At this point? I never even thought about that before. I never even thought about that. If you have a moratorium on kicking people out of their apartment, then apartment availability might be trash. I don't know. I've never had that situation before. So I'm kind of curious now as to what is going to happen with all of that. But anyway, all right. Well, again, we're going to try the Housewives Tarot once more. We did already shuffle it. Deborah, what is going on? Good to see you. All right. Let's see a little bit of the skills, strengths M needs to bank on professionally. All right. So they're trying to get a job. We're trying to get them into a job, maybe. Is that kind of the thing? And to find out what skills they are good at or what kind of things that they're going to be able to do. The Fool says they are in the position to get said job. Eight of Cups and a King of Wands. Yeah, let's see what we got sort of graphically here. Graphically, the Fool definitely comes in there with juggling, multitasking. That's going to be a big thing here. The Fool is indeed a good multitasker in this particular card. They have a lot of things sort of running around. They have a lot of things sort of spewing out. And it just feels like that this is a good multitasker, somebody that can multitask. And that's going to be one of the big things, right? Christina, thank you for your very generous donation. I appreciate that. All right, we'll do career reading for meditation with music. Christina, thank you for hosting meditation with music. Meditation with music, you are next. Okay. Multitasking is such a key piece of as far as work goes. It really is, right? And it seems like that maybe this is not something that may be important, or it seems like maybe this is something that's overlooked, or is this really that important? And I say yes, because I've met so many people that can't multitask. They just can't do it, and they get stuck on one thing, and they can't move past it. They can't move forward in their life. Multitasking is so freaking critical, especially if you can do it. We can load up employees with a lot of different tasks, and they can take the place of two different people that can't multitask. That's so freaking important. And the Fool says multitasking is going to be one of the things that they can bank on professionally. Justice as well. They're able to prioritize. Another good skill. Prioritize this versus that. It's pretty clear that this thing over here takes a better priority than this over here. Therefore, I don't need to bother my manager with silly questions. You know what I mean? Deborah, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I don't need to bother my manager with silly questions about, hey, what do you want me to work on next? I know what to work on next because I'm good at prioritization. Another good skill coming in here. 8 of Cups says, know when to get help, know when to abandon something. Again, it's going to be a very good factor for that. 8 of Cups is all about leaving, abandoning something, moving on from something. And sometimes you'll get into a situation where a task is just not freaking possible. It's just not going to be something that's manageable at all. And just cut bait on it and move on to something else or get some help at that point. Trying to take on too much, trying to just load it on, sometimes just really doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. 8 of Cups says know when to abandon things that are going to be at a disadvantage or call for help, basically, when we get that. So as far as strength goes, there is another one as well. The King of Wands. It is about managing either people or managing ourselves. This is sort of a manager that we have with the King of Wands, not really back to the multitasking. I don't think it's there. I just think that knowing how to interact with people, motivate people, get people going on things is going to be a critical role. Even if you're not a manager, sort of calling in the troops, getting people motivated, being a leader. Leaders get attention. Bottom line, if you want to get attention to work, leaders get attention. And when they get attention, even if they're not in that role, suddenly people just naturally think they're in that role and they get promoted to the role. Funny story. There was a guy that I worked with. He didn't do a damn thing for 2 freaking years. Basically, he just skirted all things for 2 years. And then he finally left. But he got promoted. That's why he left. He got promoted. Why? Because he was just a leader. He just led people. He just did things like that. And everybody kept telling him he looked like a manager, talked like a manager, acted like a manager. They freaking promoted him. And I got the brunt of his garbage, by the way, which is why I knew he didn't do a damn thing. I got all the work that he didn't do in that 2 years because I don't look like a manager. So, there you go. There you go. I did not get promoted either. Well, actually, I did get promoted twice, but I turned it down. All right. Anyway. All right. I'm a software developer. I'm not a manager. So we don't do, I do software development. I don't do manager. I don't want to make PowerPoints. I want to keep going with some good stuff and make some software. That's what I do. And that's what I do best. And there you go. Sunflower, thank you so much for your donation. Canary, what is your question? All right. Canary wants to know, what kind of career should I head towards? Canary, you're now in the queue. Thank you so much, Sunflower. Canary, please thank Sunflower for hosting your question. It's so nice. It's host night. It's host night. It looks like it's maybe a reasonable amount of questions tonight. Yesterday was pretty tight. I gotta say. All right, Deborah, will it be successful starting a tarot business? Well, let's hope so. Well, let's find out. Will you be successful with your tarot business? All right. Let's see. Deb and the tarot business. What's a good question, or what's a good deck for reading a tarot business reading? I say a tarot deck. A tarot deck would be great. Oh, man. One of my sort of the go-tos as far as that is kind of one of these. DYB, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Is, ladies not here, but we'll do the Hermetic Tarot because that is where we need to be. That is where we need to be with the Hermetic Tarot. All right. Thank you, Christina, for the good vibes. Christina is just a walking good vibe. I mean, I'm just saying now. Christina is a good vibes magnified. I mean, that's how it goes. All right. CM says, wow, that sucks. Well, yeah, it did. It did indeed. But yeah, I got it done. That's what I do. So, as far as Deborah, would it be successful in the tarot business? King of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Emperor, and the Princess of Cups is oddly upside down. It does seem like work. I mean, Master of the Obvious, it does seem like work. It really feels like the work just sort of piles on, or it feels kind of, a little bit of humdrum or, kind of boring at times. The Princess of Cups is such an interesting, it's an interesting card. It just really says, by the way, it's a Princess of the Palace of the Floods. It's just this connection with people, that you have. And I think that you have that naturally. And a lot of times I think you just sort of go forth and, just connect with people very nicely. I think you sort of understand people. You understand where they're coming from. You have a lot of empathy as well. And I think that makes for a fantastic tarot reader for sure. All right, DYB, I got your question in the queue. Thank you so much again. But it feels like that you have that connection going. You have those abilities to sort of get into other people's head and understand where they're coming from, understand how they're feeling and whatnot. And that's going to be pretty valuable in anything from counseling to tarot to anything like that. I think one of the parts of that is that becomes a disadvantage at some point. It feels like that you can't help enough, or some people, you just want to help more, but you just can't. It does feel like you sort of run into a little bit of an issue with that. The Emperor does say that you have the power and the command, the ability to get that as a business. So obviously, no matter what your skill is, whether it being a magician, whether it being a tarot reader, you're living two lives. You have a life of being the skill that you do. You have a life of holding a business, and you have to merge those somehow. And sometimes they clash. Asking people for money for tarot reading sometimes clashes with people wanting a free reading or something like that. Asking for people, to donate, or asking for this or asking for that sometimes doesn't really completely blend or merge well with the esoteric or tarot or things like that. I mean, some people can just sort of pull that off. Other people have a little bit of a conflict in between that and whatnot. The Emperor does say that you do have the command, the ability to merge these two worlds and get that done. So there is that possibility, very great possibility, that you can take command and get into both worlds and do both worlds quite well. The Five of Pentacles says it's rough starting out. I mean, it's rough starting out. The Five of Pentacles obviously is having the financial issues, or having the financial income is not what we need to survive, or we're having difficulty with that. So if you're going to do that, definitely move towards a part-time where we can just sort of make a living off the side. And as that grows and grows, then we can just rely on that 100%. And that's going to be a better situation for you than suddenly being in a panic. And now you're trying to figure out how to make the money and whatnot. So professional is going to be good, but allow yourself time to get the Five of Pentacles and rolled through. King of Swords also says definitely communicate with people. The more communication, the better. The more people know about you, the more uniqueness you have, the more communication that you have across the way, whether it be advertisement, whether it be word of mouth, whether it be appearing on other people's, Facebook groups or whatnot. But that's going to be one of the key factors here. So yeah, you will be successful. I think you will be successful. There are your tips sort of embedded within the reading, and overall, I think you're going to be all right. You are going to be all right indeed. And off to the next reading, which is meditation with music. To get a career reading, please. We will get you a career reading indeed. Find out what you need as far as your business is concerned by using the Dark Mansion. We need a little more Dark Mansion in our lives. It's true. It's true. We can't really have enough Dark Mansion. Man, and this thing's sold out. And this thing is sold out too. One of these versions, my matte version, now you got a glossy version. Everything's sold out. Nobody's printing anything anymore. It feels bad, man. It does feel bad. There you go. All right. Let's see about the career and how it is going to, oh my, 8 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and 7 of Wands. It's sort of a weird reading. I mean, whatever career you're in, it is definitely has some highs and lows, a little bit of the roller coaster action happening with all of that. It feels like the 8 of Cups. It does feel like you need to abandon some things or sort of just cut bait with some of the parts of your career. It's sort of just dragging you down. Yeah, it feels like that it's sort of difficult to keep going, difficult to get going, difficult to go into work. It does feel like that it's sort of challenged in many different ways. 8 of Cups is about abandonment and moving on. That could be a lot of different things. We could be dealing with maybe parts of your career need to be just cut out and focus on something that you really want to do. Could also mean that your career is being heavily influenced or heavily interrupted by another factor that, again, you need to cut bait and move on. Definitely a feeling of we need to leave something behind. It's not going to be your entire career, but it could be a lot of different things we need to leave behind. Things are going to be pretty obvious for you that you need to leave something behind and you know, just sort of doing that kind of thing as well. The 4 of Cups also says there's a large part of your career that just doesn't move forward as fast as you want. What does that mean? That means, let's say if I'm in IT, right? Information technology. Well, then I program in some code language that's been out of date for 20 years. You know what I mean? Lady, welcome. How are you doing tonight? We just used your Hermetic Tarot. It's on the video. But so I'm in IT and I'm coding, let's say C++, right? And nobody codes C++ anymore. It's very hard to find. It's very rare. It's going to be hard to find a job. So moving into a more modern language, let's say, I mean, .NET is not exactly the most modern thing. Let's say Angular, right? Moving into Angular, moving into React.js or something like that is really going to be a boon to the career. Is that going to be different career? No, you're still in programming, but you just modernized a little bit. You've kept up with things, maybe got the certification, maybe got a little bit of training in order to do sort of the modern things, high demand type thing. And that's what the 4 of Cups says. Stay high demand. Going to be very, very critical for you. 7 of Cups says that your career has a lot of wings to it, has a lot of tentacles coming out of it that you can choose from to find a high demand. The 7 of Cups does say that that's going to be a possibility. And finally, we have another 7 of Wands. It just means sort of get busy, get focused, take a second look at what you're looking at, make sure that everything is lined up, and that is going to be a big boon for you as well. All right. If it's high demand, like some of those other decks that are going for $2,000. Yep. I still need to post my deck on eBay and see if that sucker is going to sell, because that's not a bad price. $2,000 is not a bad price. I'm just saying. All right. We got DYB. We got you next. Right now we're doing Canary. It was a nice relaxed night. I like it. Okay, we're still on career. Does anybody have any love reading? Does anybody want a love reading? I mean, I'm just saying, if anybody needs some love, we will pump out a love reading, no pun intended, and get all that done. But for now, we'll stay on career. What kind of career should I head towards? Let's see. What is going to be good? What is going to be good indeed? We have the damaged card that I ruined. And yeah, Andrew, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Positive social life. You just got to be on the stream. Andrew. No, I'm just kidding. I got you in the queue, Andrew. Thank you so much. All right. What kind of career should I focus on? What is going to be with that? The Chariot says movement, getting moving around, traveling. It's going to be a career where you're definitely mobile, very mobile. The Chariot, obviously, master of the obvious here. I mean, nobody needs an explanation of why, but the Chariot says the mobility is going to be your biggest factor and your biggest boon with how you're doing and what type of career you should be heading towards. The King of Wands also says leading and being the manager, being that positive person, being that person people can rely on, and making the decisions that sometimes may be the tough decisions, but just making the decisions and getting in front of projects, getting in front of things and sort of making it happen, getting noticed. Like we just talked about in a couple of readings ago, the King of Wands is about getting noticed. It has that fiery element with all of the flames going on, as well, is going to be one of your biggest factors as far as the career, looking towards that, right? And then we have the Tower, accepting change, modifying change, getting change. We're sort of looking at, Christina, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate it. CM, the Q is all about you. CM, the Q is all about you. All right, CM, we got your question. If I want to find out how bad my next relationship, could I ask for a reading? CM wants to know just how bad your next relationship is. I don't think I've had that question before. But CM, we got you in the queue. Thank you again, Christina. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So let's sort of focus on the Tower. If you're looking for a type of career, one that handles change well, it's almost like a project manager at this point. It feels like that. The Chariot, the mobility, getting into the next project, getting all of that other good stuff. The King of Wands, handling the leadership, handling that. It's like maybe an lean, agile position. Project manager is really looking good for this. The Tower means handling change. Change occurs, change happens. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes the change. Somebody's got to deal with it. The people who deal with it, they get the dollars. Bottom line, the people that deal with change, the people that modify things and get things running, the people that pick up the pieces and get it going, they get the dollars and they stay on. When everybody else needs to get laid off, they stay on. So the Tower says do that. Again, we're looking at a project manager type thing as well. And the Temperance is finding a balance between things. So getting these projects in line, getting your Kanban board set up, figuring out what projects are going to be the weighty ones, what projects are not going to be, setting up your next 2-week, 3-week sprint is going to be a big thing as well. The Temperance is blending everything together, getting all the important factors, all the moving pieces together into this one big Rube Goldberg machine. Feels like that is where it's going to be at. So again, I'm really leaning towards project manager on that. All right, let's see. DYB, it is your turn. DYB, you had a question about tomorrow. Would DYB, a millionaire person, want to donate to my profit? Or okay, all right, DYB, you're waiting for a millionaire. Okay, maybe Bill Gates would call. I mean, I'm just saying. Maybe Bill Gates is just like, I found an extra million underneath the couch cushions, because that's Bill Gates. I found an extra million underneath the couch cushions. I think I want to call DYB at this point. I think DYB is going to be my next call, Addie, welcome. How are you doing tonight? The surgery went well. Well, that's good to see. That is good to see indeed. All right. See if Bill Gates is going to call. I mean, I'm just saying. That'd be great. That would be great. Maybe he's just bored. Maybe he's just like, I've been watching. He could watch the stream. You never know. You just never know. Bill Gates could watch the stream. All right. So will DYB get the millionaire? The Devil reverse, that 8 of Pentacles reverse. Sunflower, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. All right, Bree, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. What is your question? Sunflower has donated for you. And the 8 of Pentacles reversed. Well, I don't think they're working towards that. I don't think the millionaire person is actually sort of working that direction. 8 of Pentacles being that very profitable, that very sort of good, moving forward, getting things done. And the world says that you will get a call, not really a millionaire. I mean, you do have some potential people to call. You do have some people that are interested, that want to see that and all of that stuff. The world says you have some possibilities here. We're holding up the world just like the Van Halen album from, 90s? Yeah, when Sammy Hagar came in, do you remember? He was holding up the globe. Anyway, the world says we do have some possibilities. There's some other people that can call, other good news coming in. Queen of Pentacles says, sort of blending in that, getting a little bit more as it goes by. But the Queen of Pentacles says you're going to be all right. It's just, I just don't see the millionaire. I don't see the millionaire picking up the phone and dialing DYB. But you never know, DYB. You never know indeed. You know what I'm saying? Well, thanks, guys. This is so cool. It is. Bree, everybody here is so nice up in here. Bree, we have like the best community in YouTube right here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you. All right. So what do we got next? Andrew, advice to build a positive social life. Well, let's see how that goes, Andrew. Hopefully, you know, being on the stream's a good start. I mean, I got to say, let's all admit, being on the stream always is a good start. We got so many friendly people over here. So many smiling faces, friendly people on the stream. Let's go with a This Might Hurt Tarot. For whatever random reason, insert joke here, whatever's going on with all of that. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see what is going to be happening. With a good social life. 40 people watching. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, people are extremely nice here. They are. I like my audience. I have the best audience on YouTube. I'm just going to say it now. I got the best audience on YouTube. All the trolls, we banned them forever ago. We just got all the nice ones. Yeah, I'm just saying. The Four of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands as well. We have a lot of smiles. We have a lot of presentation going, right? With the Page of Pentacles, this is the Rock. You watch the video. It is the Rock. It does say that we have that stability, we have that emotion, we have that connection going, right? The Page of Pentacles is all about smiling, looking at things that are going to be positive, looking at that positive, sort of that next big thing, and always being sort of that excited, very positive type thing. So the more positive you are, the more smiles you have, the more positive you have on the inside, right? Because if you're walking around, you're like, Jesus Christ, today sucked. I can't believe today sucked that bad. You're just in your head. You're stuck there. And you're just like, I'm miserable. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. Be outside of yourself, looking around, finding things that are enjoyable and smiling and enjoying the moment. The Four of Wands also says just being at home in places. What does that mean? Hang on. What does that mean? It means if I'm in a store, I just feel like I own the store. I don't feel uncomfortable. Why would I feel uncomfortable? I own the store. You know what I mean? I'm at the grocery store. I'm picking up my fruit baskets. I'm picking up my my muffins. I'm picking up my water. I feel like that I own the store. Why is that important? Well, you're naturally going to look at people and smile. You're just going to be friendly because you own the store. You're the owner. These are your people that you'll enjoy being with, or your customers. And you have that feeling everywhere. I feel like I own this store. I feel like I own that store. I go into Starbucks. I feel like, I'm just sort of smiling at people, saying hello. In other words, I have the ownership of that. Feeling at home no matter where you go. Not feeling out of place. You're feeling like you belong there. The Four of Wands is going to be critical because that really sort of raises your vibration and things like that. Same thing with the Knight of Pentacles. You do have a higher vibration. In other words, you have that little bit of a higher vibration than everyone else because you just feel content. You just feel happy. You're focused on the positive. And people sort of feel that just sort of emitting out of you. They feel this positive vibe. And they want to approach you. Because if you're just negative all the time, man, people just kind of like, that dude's got something going on and maybe I should avoid him. The Knight of Pentacles says you just have that little bit of a higher vibe than everybody else. People want that. People want it. Maggie, speaking of people want Maggie, what's going on? What's going on? But anyway, yeah, the Queen of Wands says just get out there and do it. A positive social life begins with talking to everybody. It doesn't matter how long of a conversation it is. It can be 3 seconds. I like your shoes. How are you today? Oh, that's a fantastic coat. Where did you get that? Just talking to people. Talking to people in general makes them feel comfortable. You're interested in other people. You're outside of your head. You're not stuck in your head. And that will lead you to a positive social life. Here we go. All right. It does work. Oh, there you go. I love that. I own the store. That's what you do. Well, there you go. All right. CM. CM, I want to find out how bad my next relationship is. I don't know. Well, hopefully your next relationship does all the stuff that I just said, because then it won't be so bad. But we'll see about that. CM, you're a little glass half empty today. I gotta say. But we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it and see what the next love has in store for you by using a little Gregory Scott. Gregory Scott says everything is gonna be all right, CM. Everything is gonna be okay. It's going to be okay. We'll see about that. All right. Amber, thank you for joining me and your compliments. I appreciate you. In Texas, we say I appreciate you. You know, that's what we say in Texas. I'm gonna level with you. If you see it on the movies, we actually do say that. Okay. We say y'all as well. So all the stuff that you hear about Texas is true. Everything is bigger in Texas as well. Let's not go into that. So yeah, I want to find out how bad my next relationship could be. I mean, we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to change this up a little bit. I want to find out how good my next relationship is. CM, I'm glad you asked how good your next relationship is. The Nine of Cups is pretty good. And looking decent. A little bit of the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands and the Page of Swords. I mean, you really have nothing bad here, right? Nothing bad here. Is that going to be sort of good? How do you feel about the Gregory Scott Tarot? One of my favorites. It's probably in my top 10 at this point. All right. Nine of Cups is such an important card. It talks about the realization of love, the realization of emotion, sort of having something good, having something we can reach for and search for. It's going to be a key component as far as that goes. And the Nine of Cups is a beautiful card too. It says, you know, the traditional ones where we have the cups lined up, it says that we have things that are being offered. We have things that are being selected. We have a lot of different things sort of on the table for us, you know, as far as choices go. Nine of Cups says things will be pretty good. The Three of Wands is about searching and seeking. It is something that you definitely have to get out and search, find it, look for it. Definitely not something we can sort of sit at home with and whatnot. But once COVID clears up, once we can get back out and the meetups and all this other stuff, Three of Wands says we have unique opportunities around the corner. I think that's going to be pretty positive there. I mean, the Three of Wands says you're going to have to search it out, though. Definitely not going to be a freebie. Going to have to get out. We're going to have to search. Going to have to sort of look at that. Six of Wands points to the Lord of Victory, points to the being victorious with it. So welcome. How are you doing? So you're just going to be victorious. You're going to be good. It's going to go okay. I don't think you're going to have any big problems. And again, the Page of Swords talks about the adjustment quality. The relationship is going to take some adjustments and all this other stuff, but you just got to go. You just got to go with it and feel it and go forth and be merry. Go forth and be merry. You know, that's what you need. That's all you need in life. All right, for Bree, you are next. Bree, how will my relationship look in the future? Hopefully, Bree, you get those cards right there. Bree, because those are really nice. Those did not look bad at all. Not at all. All right, Bree, just for you, we're going to do some hearts and the Modern Love Tarot. Because the Modern Love Tarot is quite enjoyable. It is indeed. It is a nice, slow, relaxed Tuesday. I like it. We're going back to the regular schedule. Busy on Thursdays and apparently Mondays, and maybe slow on Tuesdays. I don't know. Anyway, after yesterday, I appreciate the just the sort of the sereneness of this evening. You know what I mean? Page of Swords is usually a jerk. Well, not my thing. Got to watch the videos on at least my videos, you know? All right. Bree, first off, you're getting involved with somebody that literally just broke up. Like they literally, I'm not even kidding, just broke up. And We got a little bit of that. You can see the Five of Wands. You can see the abandonment and all that other stuff. Sunflower, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate you. Yeah, they just breathe. They just broke up. Oh, this is a Taurus, by the way. The Taurus just broke up. What happened? You want to know. Bree's like, okay, Mr. T.O., what happened? Well, I'm going to tell you. They broke up because the other person was cheating and they had to deal with it some way or another. I think that's just sort of at their limit. The other person's cheated before. Sunshiny Day, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. They cheated before and then they cheated again. And that was the limit. And, they thought, they were like, okay, I'm going to work it out. We're going to talk. We're going to figure it out. At the end of the day, they're just like, screw all that. I give up. And they left. You see that right here. Again, the Lovers, the Taurus. This person has a lot of potential. One of the biggest potential things that they have is they just are reliable. They just have that everything I want feel to them. It smells like just perfection. Is it perfection, Bree? Well, not really. But it sure does feel good. It feels like the potential is really, really there. And you're sort of waiting in that line. You're waiting in that line for that potential. You want to see it realized. You want to hurry it along. But reality sort of kicks in, right? The Three of Cups does say that we do have a little bit of the friends that they have are a bit gossipy. One of them doesn't like you. You got a little bit of gossip sort of creeps in at that point. Justice says that's going to work out overall, but as far as realizing all of this big potential and things, that's not really going to happen. But again, there is a lot of expectation, a lot of excitement sort of surrounding a lot of buzz with it. Couple of things sort of calm everything down. One is just reality. Schedules are sort of conflicting sometimes. There is the gossipy friends. There's sort of this weird thing with the family and whatnot. But overall, it looks sort of just like this nice little thing. Nice little thing. CM. The Modern Witch Tarot is your favorite. There you go. Druidcraft. See, CM, that's my friend CM right there. The Druidcraft is excellent. It is excellent. So like Dr. Evil there. All right. We got Bree. We got CM. We got Andrew. Now it is time for Boo Boo and buying Mom a house. Hopefully we get a little Four Wands action on that. A little Four Wands action. With some Eight of Pentacles, I'm just saying that wouldn't be a bad combo at all. We could use a little Ciro Marchetti deck too, because you can't get enough Ciro Marchetti decks. We know that. DG, welcome. What is going on? Good to see you tonight. Welcome everybody to the stream. We got a nice sort of a relaxing, easy going Tuesday. That's what I'm talking about. Yesterday, I think we had 50 reading requests, but well, there you go. But that just happens sometimes. That was a lot of fun. All right. Well, let's see what we're doing here with the Gilded Royale. Are you ever going to be able to buy Mom a house? Three of Cups, High Priestess, Chariot, and Page of Cups. Basically, no. I'm not saying you can't. You just get into, you just want to do your own thing. It just feels like you just want to do your own thing. You have other things you need to deal with. You have other responsibilities. You have other things to chase, right? The Three of Cups, it's almost like that this would be a great thing to do. Deb, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. You're still stuck on that Sagittarius, Deb. Oh, my God. Okay. The Three of Cups says that you have other priorities. We got other friends. We got other things we need to spend the money on. It's sort of, you could do it. It would just be this massive just debt that you would just have to get into, saving up, not spending a lot, really sort of moving back, into a situation where you're just sort of just a baseline, barely making it kind of thing, right? The High Priestess does say that there are a lot of factors involved as well. There's location, there's the price. It seems like the market sort of gets into a position where you're not really comfortable in doing that. The house prices sort of die or sort of just increase and bloat to a point where it's just not really reasonable or enviable. Then the Chariot says you got your own move, you got your own house going on. And that's one of the things. So where do I need to prioritize? I think you end up prioritizing, obviously, yourself as far as that's concerned, because that's going to be important that you get settled, move to get in, get comfortable, and all that stuff is going to be one of those things. And then the Page of Cups, it's not like that. It's not like that you owe her that. Basically, it feels like that it'd be nice, but it's not like that it's something that should absolutely needs to be done. So there you go. All right. Bad Mama House. Let's see. What do we got next? We got, instead of map making, how about a master's in urban forestry? There you go. Sunshiny days. You got all the cool stuff. Instead of map making, instead of the GIS. See, I remember. Instead of the GIS. All right, what do we got for this one? By the way, I saw the prettiest damn tarot I've seen in a long time. All right, I'm sorry. I know that I'm the worst person in the world for making all of you broke, but you need to see it. You need to see it, and I'm warning you in advance. The top looks terrible. It looks terrible. Scroll down. You need to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and start scrolling down to about the middle and start seeing the rest of the cards. And holy crap, they're beautiful. These are beautiful cards. And I apologize if people are blowing whole paychecks buying tarot because of me. I am an enabler. I mean, that is true. It is true. But I just saw it, and it is nice. Zach, what is going on? How are you doing tonight? Yeah, Zach, did you check out the Ohm Tarot? It looks pretty damn cool. It's almost as cool as the new book by me called Tarot Guidance. Link in the chat. Tarot Guidance is going to be here. I'm 80% funded. Just saying. 80% funded. Okay. Instead of map making, can we do other things like urban forestry? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That is a good pick for you. It's got decent money. It's got some hard work. I think it's something that you enjoy doing long term. There is some competition for some reason. There's some competition. It does sort of have a competitive nature to where it's kind of hard to get the money that you need out of it, but it does have a lot of potential as far as just sort of making a steady salary and whatnot. So being at home, being comfortable with it, that is going to be nice. That is going to be nice. I mean, the map making, maybe not so much with the GIS, but the urban forestry is looking a little bit better. So being comfortable with it, being something that you can do, something that you look forward to. And the Page of Pentacles is big here too. Now, again, is the Page of Pentacles a big salary? Are you going to be pulling $400,000 a year? Colzai, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I mean, is this going to be something you're going to be making $250,000, $500,000 a year? Maybe not. Page of Pentacles says the salary starts out a little bit low. It is something that you love doing, though. It's something that you like. Now, there is some travel involved. It feels like you're going to be in your car a lot of times. You're going to be roaming around, moving around and whatnot. You know, it feels like that feel. But at the end of the day, if you enjoy it, that is so cool. Kolziah, what is your question? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. Overall, you feel like that you need more money. And that's everybody. I mean, that's everybody. But you really do enjoy it, you know? Just make sure you have a good car. You have a good car, because you'll be driving a hell of a lot. For some reason, I just see this as just a lot of driving. You're behind the wheel. I guess you could catch up, get an Audible subscription and catch up on some of them audio books. By the way, Brandon Sanderson audio books, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for the Brandon Sanderson audio books. Just warning you now. Yeah. Okay. All right. Got a couple more donations up in the queue. Aroha, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Let's see about this. What are we doing next? We did Mom's House. We did Forestry. The Sagittarius. Deb, you need a very good relationship to replace that Sag. I mean, that Sag is just haunting you like a ghost at this point. Let's do some Divine Tarot. Because, you know, I mean, you got... You are back and forth on the Sagittarius. I remember you're asking me if you were going to break up, if you should cut them off at the knees, just get rid of them. And I said, hang on to them. So I'm probably not the best person as far as enablement, not only with tarot decks, but with your Sagittarius. You know, all right. Kolzaya's joining a little Russian. Kolzaya. We'll check that out in a minute. Thank you for your donation again. Let's see what we're doing here. Ooh, Dr. Mystical's getting the Thoth deck. All right. He should check out that Tarot Oracle Thoth course. I mean, I'm just saying, if he wants to learn it quick, that's what I'm designed to do right there. My next book may be a Thoth book. It might be a Thoth book. We don't know. Tori just pledged today. The problem with that tarot I just linked, the Om Tarot, whatever, they picked the worst possible card to put on the front page, in my opinion. I think that there's so many other beautiful cards in that deck. I'll be honest with you, I skipped right over it because I didn't like the card that was on the front page. There's so many good ones to choose from. Why did they choose that one? I don't know. Again, just my, just my thing. The Sagittarius moved on. Yeah, probably. The Fool, you gotta, I mean, you gotta move on with that. Just like Zach is saying, the Fool says it is time to move on. They most likely have moved on with that. Eight of Cups as well. You gotta let it go. Like the Frozen song. You gotta let it go. You need to let it go. And Hermit, you gotta leave him alone. I mean, will you ever move past them? Yes, but it is incumbent upon you to do that. I don't think it's going to be something that they're going to do. I don't think they're just going to cut you off completely. Maybe they want to have you around occasionally. I think that you just really got to move on with that. That Eight of Cups, that Fool. We got a lot of movement, a lot of sort of past the next threshold. Going to be one of the big factors here, especially with a Page of Coins. You're looking for stability, and I don't think the back and forth thing with them is going to be stable. It's going to keep you hanging on, the carrot on the stick action. I don't think that's good for the psyche at the end of the day. You gotta let it go. You gotta move on. Of course, you'll get past it. It's just a matter of not being exposed to the Sagittarius and just sort of moving on with that. But yeah, if they're going to carrot on a stick you, then that's going to be emotionally taxing for sure. Speaking of for sure, Kazaya wants to know, joining the Russian, will it affect my channeling? Let's see. Hopefully Facebook doesn't ruin your channeling. That'd be a pain in the ass. It really would. Heaven and Earth Tarot, though. I did have a Russian tarot at one point. Everybody remembers it because I made a terrible review video because it smelled so bad and it was so bad. I'd like to do that Russian tarot deck, but I threw it into the trash. So it was only like $5. It's not like it's not like I just spent a lot of money on that thing, but yeah. All right. Let's see what we're doing with the Heaven and Earth. If you're going to join this, will it affect you? Yes, actually it will. I mean, we do. We got a little bit. We got a little bit of the despair and cruelty. The despair and cruelty. The Hanged Man says that this forces you to think outside of your normal thing. You know what I mean? Outside of your normal processing. So it's going to be kind of important for you to maybe avoid this. Yeah, the tarot phase would affect your channeling. It forces you to think outside of your box, get outside of your normal sort of how you do things. I think that sort of affects your channeling because now you're sort of subconscious about it. You really want to, you're a little bit too Leo now because now it's about presentations. Now it's about a little different style, and it ends up worrying you and concerning you. And now your channel is just not clear. You're not getting these voices. You're not getting everything flowing. You're not going to be one of the big things. Strengths to sort of stick with your strengths. Stick with things you're going to be comfortable with, especially if you're doing channeling, because you need to hear those voices. If you have a lot of other things you're worried about, concerned about, if somebody has knocked you outside of your comfort zone, if you have concern and worry, it's going to interrupt that. You want strength. You want a good connection with all of that good stuff. It's going to be a big factor going in here. And the last one is the Chariot. It's best just to move on from that, and something in there distracts you, causes you to worry, sort of causes you to be a little too too focused on presentation and how you look rather than what the actual message is. And that's not something that you want. You got to avoid that sometimes. All right. Let's see, what do we got next? Weekly forecast for Santana and I. I absolutely love Santana. This is a great band. Let's see, Aroha, Santana and I. We're under a blizzard warning. Wow, you must not live in Texas. That is for sure. Okay, what are we doing? We need a blizzard deck. Or what are we doing? We need a love. Well, we did that love reading. I want to go for some Teen Witch. It had mixed reviews. It did. By the way, Zach, are you still here? Zach, what the hell is wrong with the new decks coming out? Why are they so thin? This is like a piece of paper. Is what it is. Here's what you get. That's coming up here. It's coming up here. It should not come up here when I flick it. It should come like right about here, maybe here. Not here. It's like a piece of paper. And this is the third deck I've gotten. This is like a piece of paper. Anyway, let's move on and find out what Santana and I is going to happen with that. All right. Weekly forecast. We got a little bit of the Three of Swords action, the Fool, and the Ten of Wands. Does feel like a, Derek, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is LS. You knew it's LS the minute I started playing with it. All right. How much was it? Too much for a piece of paper. It's going to be a rough week, it feels like. Aroha. It feels like it's going to be a little bit of a rough week. We have the Heartbreak card, the Three of Swords. It's like, a little bit of avoiding each other. Maybe have a little bit of conflict. It could be a little bit of a conflicting week where it feels like things just aren't in sync. Things just aren't the way that we need it to be. You know what I mean? The Fool says there's a lot of activity, a lot of motion as well. Not really motion as in, say, leaving, because I think some people could read this as we're leaving or abandoning something. I don't really think that's going to be the case as far as that's concerned. I think the Fool means there's a lot of motion. There's a lot of things happening. I think you're entering a stage where you got to figure out how to deal with it. It's not something you'll be able to deal with immediately, just easily. Again, it feels like it's just, we have to deal with this right now, or it's going to turn into something a little bit better. A little bit worse. So you're definitely going to have to sort of nip it quickly, figure out how to deal with it. The Fool says take that action, get going on that adventure. And the Ten of Wands is, again, if you don't deal with it, it's going to grow bigger than both of you. So if you see some factors coming in, some things working our nerves and whatnot. You definitely need to deal with it this week. Don't let it build up. Don't let it sort of develop into a situation that you're going to be like, ouch, later. It's one of those big things. One of the big things factored in here. The Knight of Wands overall also says a little bit of a defensive action. Again, it feels like, yeah, it just isn't working how I need it to work. So if you're looking for a little bit of off on, definitely this week is going to be on the off section. Not anything dramatic. I don't see a tower or anything like that. I don't see a Ten of Swords where you just break up. It feels just more like the roller coaster is hitting a low. You're just going to have to deal with it, handle it, definitely find out how to accommodate this, and then, you know, so obviously move on to the next kind of thing there. All right. LS quality has gone to crap. That is true. That is true. Llewellyn, appreciate. Yeah, Llewellyn's not that bad. LS has just gone straight downhill. The other thing that's really annoying is how many of these Kickstarters last year just sucked. They look great, but they sucked. Andrea, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right. We are ending soon. We're getting out of here on time tonight. Derek wants to know a general. Derek, let's knock that out for you, my friend. Thank you so much for your donation. All right. We are ending soon. We're gonna grab a little bit of dinner and a shower after this. You know, speaking of thick decks, let's do the Encore Tarot. This one, it's nice and beefy. It's like a beefsteak. You could put some barbecue sauce on this deck and put it on the grill. It's so thick. I'm just saying. All right. A little bit of that action. General. Oh my. All right, Derek. First off, it looks like a little bit of the disappointment. Sort of heading out there. It feels like there's something that is not just hugely weighing on you, but some things just don't work out. Some things that you're relying upon, you're sort of leaning on. You're like, this is something I want. This is something I want to focus on. Definitely something I've been manifesting and looking forward to this. Just doesn't work out. So don't really just sort of lean on that too much. Again, it's just not going to work out. If there's something big, don't put a lot of effort or put a lot of sort of meaning with that. Or thank you for your donation. But the Five of Cups is a little bit of a disappointment sort of heading in the door. And you see that with the Nine of Swords as well. Again, don't tie all of your expectations to one particular thing or one particular outcome. Go with it. Just let it flow. Do a little surfing, right? When you're surfing, you can't really control the waves. You're going to have to adjust with it and move your body. So you're just sort of accommodating how the waves want you to go and what is all of that stuff. The Super Lunaris is built like a tank. It is amazing. But yeah, the Nine of Swords says, again, that outcome may not be there. And you sort of see that with the Ten of Cups as well. Some of the things that you have been working in the background towards, but you gave up on, it's time to start one of those things as well. I think that is not really a project, but more like a trying to get a reconciliation going. Reconciliation going is going to be looking great with this Ten of Cups, especially next to the Queen of Cups. I think, Derek, this is your time, I would say the next month or month and a half, to really sort of be able to connect with people emotionally, understand them, be very empathetic, and be very good as far as that's concerned with your emotions and with getting emotions out of people and sort of talking to people and relating that, right? Not really communication, whatnot, but it is definitely an emotional thing where you just feel each other. You feel like how that is going. So that's going to be pretty good there. All right. Andrea, do I need to find another job or do I just wait around? Oh, let's see about that. With the, what did Christina want? Christina wanted the Oz Tarot. Maria, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, Christina wanted the Oz Tarot. Christina gets the Oz Tarot. All right, Maria, thank you for your donation. There you go. And see how that goes. Let's see. How much can you earn as a professional tarot reader as you? Well, you're relying on donations. Donations go up, donations go down. And my channel is quite small compared to these other ones that have like 200,000 subs and whatnot. So, you know, it all depends. It all depends. Okay, the Oz Tarot. We are not doing general. We on finding another job or wait with Andrea. Let's see about that. Find another job or wait. Pretty simple yes or no. This choice or that choice. I think you should find another job. Definitely should find another job at this point. Entertainment purposes only, obviously. But finding another job seems to be something you want to do. The devil says that there are some sort of pending things happening. Hey, I thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. There are sort of some pending things in the queue and whatnot. Seven of Cups says that the jobs that you're looking for may be available. You have a good chance of finding something right now. Obviously, entertainment purposes only. Don't quit something or do anything drastic. A Seven of Cups says you have more choices. You have a lot of good choices in your professional field and whatnot. King of Swords says that you're at a prime. You're at a prime to where you can get something. People want your skill set. People are looking for your skill set, and that is going to be something that you want to get into. And the Four of Wands says your opportunity to find something comfortable where you're at home, where you need to be, is going to be a big factor here as well. So it's definitely time to look for the next big thing. All right. We got Christina's deck out. We are good with that. And next we want to do RR. How we'll go with the Sagittarius when we meet in the person. I don't know. Let's see. Not tarot, not oracles, Lenormand. I did do Lenormand before, but nobody liked it. So there's two possibilities. One is people don't like Lenormand on this channel. And another is I suck. Or maybe a mix. It could be a mix. But either way, I think it kind of concluded for me when one person said, I want to ask a question, but I'm going to wait until you read tarot again. And I was like, all right, that's it. That's it. Not doing Lenormand anymore. So like they want to ask a question, but they don't want to ask it on the day that I did Lenormand. That tells me maybe it's a mixture of sucking and not liking Lenormand. I don't know. A lot of people say they love Lenormand, so I'm really leaning towards the suck. Okay. How will I go with the Sagittarius when we meet in person? Ooh, that is nice. Look at that. That is nice. The lovers. There's your answer. RR, there is your answer. We got the lovers, we got that passion, we got that opportunity. It feels like the Sagittarius is somewhere in that realm of, I really enjoy this person, I like their style, I like how they do things, and the lovers is going to be where it's at. So it's going to go very, very well, especially with the Queen of Pentacles. It just feels comfortable. Look at that little comfort, you know what I mean? That comfort, that connection, it's going to be a little factor going on there as too. So meeting them is not only going to be, feels like you've been with them before, feels like you've hung out before, but the Queen of Pentacles says you have that nice comfort zone with that. The Seven of Wands says you do stumble around a bit. RR, you stumble around a bit. Maybe you get a little nervous. I don't know. Maybe you get a little nervous, but you stumble around. Don't really know what to say sometimes. You're like, well, I'm not really sure what to do now. It's kind of awkward, but yeah. I don't know. Let's see about that. All right. Cute cards indeed. That is the Mons Tarot. It just always rocks the house. All right. Maria, will I find work soon? Let's see about that. Work soon or no work soon? Zach's talking about the golden wheel and the Russian influences. Stacy, what is going on? How you doing tonight? Dark Luna, welcome as well. We're about to end the stream. You're just in time to see us wrapping up tonight. A little bit of the wrap-up action. You know, you haven't tried Lenormand yet. I do have a Lenormand course on the channel if you're interested. I got so many courses on this channel. I don't even remember half of them. Okay. I'm going to get some work soon. Two of Swords, Page of Wands, Nine of Wheels, and the Sun. Yeah, it's going to be a while. I mean, Maria, it seems like it's going to be a while. It seems like it's been a while. It seems like you're having problems sort of getting on there. You know what I mean? It seems like you're getting problems sort of getting roped in, getting in there. The Two of Swords, not really finding what we need. Are there jobs available? Sure. But at the end of the day, do you want to take some of those? Not really. Again, the Page of Wands, it feels like the jobs are a little bit too low pay. They have some problems getting in there. It's not something you want to do. The distance is incredible. It doesn't have the skill set. You're not using your skill set that you want to use. It's more like just sort of a menial job. You're not really looking forward to going there. It does have a lot of those types of things. If you're looking for a job, I think you have another month and a half, a month and 3/4 to go until we get the Nine of Wheels action, which is going to be something steady, something permanent, something that's going to be a little bit better. And that's when the sun sort of kicks in. We have a better opportunity. You have more things coming in and the light shines down and all of that. Again, I think a month and a half, month and 3/4, you have a lot better opportunities. Things sort of look up as far as this concerned. The Knight of Wheels. But the tarot does recognize that you're sort of having issues getting in for something or getting into something at the moment. There you go. All right. And the last reading of the night, AF. Dr. Tom, give time off when I tell about mental health. All right. So you're going to tell them, you're going to spill the beans about a mental health, and we want to know if they're going to give us some time off. Well, I hope so. If you spill the beans about mental health, I assume that they're going to be like, sure, let me give you a little time off. But you never know. These days, you just don't know. 2020 wasn't your year. Well, good news. 2021 is looking up. Ronna George's book. That is a great book on Lenormand. And I also got Lenormand here. If you're interested, check out my Lenormand playlist. Okay. You spill the beans about mental health. The magician, though, I think that you're capable of, you've been reliable, you've been good. I don't think that they're going to just say no. The magician says that you've been reliable. If you're having a little problems now, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. By the way, entertainment purposes only. Never make job decisions based upon a fat man reading your cards. So yeah, the magician says you've been good, you've been reliable. This is something that's temporary. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Page of Cups being reversed. Five of Cups says that you do have that affecting your work. So if you're looking at cleaning up the work or sort of getting past this, moving past this, it's going to be quite possible, right? The Five of Cups, it is a downtime. You need some time off, definitely need some time off to heal and recovery. And the Six of Swords is going to be a journey towards recovery. It's just, being there, being in that recovery state is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you quite a bit, sort of move forward and get back in the driver's seat. So getting back in the driver's seat is where you want to be. And if that involves time off, then that is going to be something people are willing to work with you, especially since you've been reliable and a good employee overall or whatnot. So yeah, I don't see it being a problem. Again, don't make work decisions based upon my readings. This is entertainment purposes only, but we have the good work that you've done. A little bit of a downtime is going to help you heal and recover, and journey towards that recovery state is going to be good. I think people understand that, people sort of appreciate that. They appreciate the honesty. They appreciate that the fact that you do need that time off and all of that other stuff. So anyway, we are out of here. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time.